Everything's going to be okay. Everything you're worried about is going to be okay. That too, whatever it is, that also is going to be fine.
This is what hard feels like. Did you expect it not to be hard? Did you expect this thing that you're trying to achieve not to be difficult? Every other person feels the exact same way. They also feel the hunger. They also feel the fatigue. They also feel the double-digit testosterone level and the lack of motivation and the I've got to keep the business going and I've got to keep the relationship steady and I've got to do the rest of it. Every other person that you're competing with also feels this. So when you feel that, know that this is your opportunity to separate yourself out from the pack.
Hustle, hustle, hustle. Sleep was sin in my household. Mom would always say, why are you going to watch someone doing something when you can go out in the world and do it yourself?
I am okay being a beacon of relentless hard work. I'm okay being the guy who says, fuck your mental health. I'm okay with it because I've given it a lot of thought. And I think that the other side is wildly overrepresented. And I'm willing to sit on the logical extreme because I think it will help more people.
A blade does not become strong. It does not become tempered until it's been through the fire. Until it's been through the fire several times. And this is just your first or second time through the fire. And there's a lot of hammer work that has to take place.
A lot of people are afraid of being different. That's one of the worst things that can happen to you.
Yeah.
Because it's what makes you different that is what makes you powerful.
You got to always have something you shooting for or what you getting up for. So you can't lose your motivation. That's why when a lot of people retire, they just wither and die because their reason to get up and go live has been taken away. They thought retirement, but they had purpose. See, you gotta always have purpose.
We're all looking for this golden purpose. Is it this? Is it that? Is it making money? Is it my family? Motherfucker, the purpose is you. We forget that. Every fucking day I wake up and I don't want to do some fucking shit. I'm like, okay, man, do you want to be a bitch today? Do you want to feel like a little bitch? Do you want to walk around all day knowing that you could, but you didn't?
Particularly young people today, I mean, maybe it's always been that way, are so afraid of being different. They're so afraid of being odd. But look at all the powerful people in this world. Look at your Elon Musks. Look at your celebrities in entertainment, in business and politics. They're one of a kind.
And all you need is to know that if you try, you're not going to die. Mm-hmm. You're just going to learn something. And when you learn something, it removes a little bit of the insecurity so that it makes it slightly easier to try again.
And the longer you can stick with something without that positive feedback loop in terms of the big external thing, the easier the opportunities are because so few people can pursue them.
Which is why not quitting is the best skill.
And the only thing that matters. Because by default, with an infinite game perspective, which I encourage everyone to have, the point of the game is to keep the game going. It's the only objective. Because even if, I obviously come from the business world, so even if your goal was to be number one at business, it's like, by what metric? Enterprise value, growth, profit, revenue, all of a sudden, okay, maybe it's richest man in the world. Okay, for how long? Look at the history of mankind. Not one person has ever been richest man forever. And so you get to touch the top, even if you're that one guy, for a moment, and then it's gone again. And so you can't have that as the end point because it is by its very nature finite. But the competitor whose objective is to continue to play can't be beaten because by playing, he wins.
But there's never been an easier time to make money. Yes, it's still hard, but there's never been an easier time to create wealth because there's so much leverage out there. There's so much opportunity. You still have to go find it. It's not easy. It's not going to fall on your lap, and you have to learn something and know something and do something interesting. But nevertheless, it's possible to many more people. A few hundred years ago, you were born a serf, you were going to die a serf. There was almost no way out of that. That's changed.
Consistency doesn't guarantee that you'll be successful, but not being consistent will guarantee that you won't reach success.
One day that thing's going to come up. And if you're not constantly performing without purpose, you're not going to be ready when the time comes. It's this magical thing, purpose, that we're all looking for. But what's funny about it all is that we need these things to perform. But we don't take a second to realize the purpose is always there. the purpose never leaves us because the very purpose is you.
I'm not training for a race. I'm training for life. I'm training for the time when I get that 2 o'clock in the morning call that my mom is dead or something happens tragic in life. I don't fall apart. I'm training my mind and my body and my spirit so it's all one, so I can handle what life is gonna throw at me, because the life I've lived, it throws a whole bunch at you. And if you're not physically and mentally prepared for that, you're just gonna crumble and you're good for nobody.
You know where you wanna go. You need your compelling future. You need to keep pushing forward, and you can't expect others to get your dreams because they weren't downloaded in them. They were downloaded in you.
You have to believe in yourself and have to know that it's only one you. You're an amazing individual, unique. You're a miracle. I wake up every day and I'm like, this shit is crazy.
In life, folks, you cannot change your life unless you change something. If you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got.
You identify with this gift. We all got the gift. There's something that we've all been blessed with. At some point, if we listen to that fucking little thing that speaks to us inside, some people call it instinct, some people call it a vibe, some people call it an energy, whatever the fuck you call it. Some people call it a voice. Whatever that thing is, bro, if it sparks the thought that changes the whole trajectory to what your life can evolve into because you took a second to listen to that shit, you are identifying with your blessing. You are identifying with your gift.
So the average person will always try to keep you average. It makes sense that if you want to be extraordinary, you will do things that an ordinary person would see as extra. If you can't sit still, ignore notifications, and focus on one task for 8 hours straight, never expect to build anything great. And as uncomfortable as that is, it's also the truth. Like, I don't know a single incredibly successful entrepreneur that can't sit down and have hyper-focused periods of time, sometimes weekends, weeks at a time, where they don't talk to anyone and they just hammer away. And it's whether they're coding for software or they're making some insane marketing campaign and all the email follow-ups and all the text follow-ups and the affiliate promotions and incentives, or someone who's creating a product that they're designing and they're in the shop and they keep tweaking at it, or there's somebody who's hyper-scaling a company and saying, I'm going to sit in 20 interviews a day for 7 days straight so I can hire 20 people this week because I need to get going, right? Like, if you can't sit still and ignore notifications and focus for a day, nothing great will get accomplished, because it's not about what you want, it's about what's required. And whether that's your best or not is irrelevant.
You have to be like all in. And if you're not all in, you're gonna get beat up in front of loads of people. That's just the way it goes.
You cannot wish for a strong character and an easy life. Each is the price of the other. What if what you're going through isn't hard? What if you're just sensitive?
It's funny, when you're making lots of money, it's like admirable, it's respectable. It's like, look, those are traits we want. But when you're not successful, you're a lunatic when you have all these traits. And so back then, I'd occasionally be like, man, like, should I try to be more normal? But I just could never do it. Anytime I tried to, I've mentioned this before, but one of the things that I have a memory of that really is burned in my brain is people, one time a high schooler told me when I was in middle school, all you do is talk about YouTube. Do you know how to do anything else? You're just a freak. And I tried to watch South Park, because that's what a lot of people in my school watch to fit in. And I just couldn't. I was like, this is such a waste of time. I don't, I could be working right now. And I tried to do all these things to fit in, and I eventually just stopped talking because I just didn't relate to anyone. And people used to call me mute. One of my teachers literally asked if I was mute, because that's how little I spoke, because no one in the school I went to was entrepreneurial or wanted to build businesses, and I just didn't want to do anything else. And eventually I started to succeed, found other lunatics, and now life's great. But I like to tell this story when I'm on podcasts, because if you have a younger viewer who's in that same spot, you're not the problem, it's your environment, and you just gotta put yourself in a better environment.
You have to be crazy enough to think that it's possible. That's how you fucking do something worthwhile. That's how you beat the fucking odds. You have to believe it's possible. Okay? And when you believe something is possible, everything else will figure itself out.
We overestimate what we can do in 1 year and underestimate what we can do in 10 years.
No doubt. Figure out what you want. Ignore the opinions of others. Do so much work, it would be unreasonable that you fail. Realize it never mattered to begin with. Help others once you get there. You've already achieved the things you said would make you successful.
Why would you not go for it? Why would you not take a chance? At one point in time, you got to take a chance on you.
Yeah, and the important thing to realize as well is the next year is going to go by whether you're doing something about your life or not.
The most important question to ask is, what pain do you want in your life? What are you willing to struggle for? Anything worthwhile is going to require some degree of pain and struggle. So, if you're oriented toward the pain and the struggle, you're probably going to be more aligned with what you're capable of accomplishing rather than if you just orient toward the pleasures.
I mean, just sitting around dreaming someday, someday I'm going to get a different job. Someday I'm going to change this. Well, someday ain't a day of the week. There's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Look on your calendar. Some days not on there. So you got to say, okay, I'm going to take this small step by here, this small step by there, this small step by there. And then pretty soon, we don't leap tall buildings in a single bound. We take it a floor at a time.
For better or worse, life is really short. And it's this ridiculous irony that you only see in retrospect how short it is. Right? It doesn't feel short at the time. But I bet when you get to your 80s and you look back, you think, holy fuck, that went by in no time at all.
I'm realizing that I have to daily show up for myself if I want my life to be what I want it to be.
Right.
It is a battle. And not only that, but it's like you have to have some sort of a plan. When I used to be a little bit more aimless, I was just like, I want things to be good. It wasn't enough.
We are in control of our momentum. If you are in a terrible place right now, if your life sucks right now, and you're waiting around for things to get better, that's not what you should be doing. That's not how it works. You need to take action. You need to control what you could control, which is your food, what you put in your mind, how you move your body, how much water you drink, who you associate with, the things that are in your control.
You have to control your mind. You have to be able, if your mind starts getting anxious, okay, I know we're getting weird, it's time to work out. Okay, I know maybe we should meditate, maybe we should do this, maybe we should do that. Don't just keep scrolling. You gotta know when, but most people don't have that kind of self-control and discipline. They don't have to.
So the thing that is making you better is the thing which is making you feel pain. Have faith that whatever stresses that you're facing right now will lead to a greater version of you in the future. The challenge that you're facing is a gift, and leaning into the discomfort as if you invited it through the door, saying thank you for the opportunity to learn and reflect because it's making you better.
If you want to feel like your life has meaning, if you want to go to bed and sleep with a clear conscience, if you want to wake up in the morning looking forward to the day, purpose is a more meaningful, more reliable category than happiness.
Don't waste your life. Set your goals high. Quit thinking about what's wrong. Start thinking what's right. Love a little more, hate a little less. You have no idea what you're capable of doing. Make up your mind today, you're going to figure it out.
I don't want to live in a hole anymore. It makes me feel poor.
We are poor, but we're happy.
Come see, come sa. Anyway, the views are better above ground. Honey, I'm 7 non-Fox years old now. My father died at 7.5. I don't want to live in a hole anymore, and I'm going to do something about it.
Ideas don't come out fully formed. They only become clear as you work on them. You just have to get started.
It's all within your brain and the power within your brain and your mind, and it takes fortitude, it takes trust and faith and a whole lot of other bag of goodies that you can't be weak in spirit. You cannot. You have to be, if you don't believe it, then no one's going to believe it kind of attitude. It's not going to get done if you're not going to do it, right? You have to do it and believe it.